Good evening, friends. It has been a day. It has just been a day. I had meetings so much, a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon. People just kept wanting to talk to me. And it was good. It was lovely to see my colleagues. But I was like, shh, y'all, the Murdaugh trial is going on and I need to find out what's happening. So much happened today, including a bomb threat. I know y'all thought I missed it. I did not miss it because I do not miss a trick. I took notes. Okay, first of all, Annette Griswold was the first one on the stand today. Why do they call her Annette? Like, the woman's name is Annette, right? Annette Griswold, that was Alex's paralegal. She seemed like a lovely woman. Of course, she took the stand and they like, hey, Annette, how's your mama name? Where you from? Where you go to high school? So she had moved out of the area to go to college and then she met her husband or whatever. She came on back because her father got sick. See, now I know the whole woman's life story. Her father got sick and so somebody told her, oh, you should apply for a job at the firm. That's what they call it, the firm. Apparently, they don't call it PMPED. Or the Parker Law Group. They call it the firm. So according to Annette, Alex was like a whirling dervish up in the place. He would come in, be gone all day, work whatever hours he wanted. That is some privilege, right? Work whatever hours he wanted, be gone out in these streets all day long, and then at 5 o'clock come in and scream, la, 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 and then want the girls, women, to jump and run and do all of his business. And they were like, he's nice. We loved him. You can't work for somebody that long and not learn to care for them. She was there for like 10 years or 12 years or something like that. She's been his assistant for a long time. She's his paralegal. She's been with him for a very, very long time. And Miss Annette kept her books all together because you know she was not trying to run afoul of Miss Jeannie Seckinger. And so she suspected that something might be up with those books. But she was like, you know what? I'm going to keep it all together. I'm going to keep Mr. Alex straight, and it's all going to be good. Well, Miss Annette is the one who found the check that let them know, Alex been stealing. And as soon as she saw that check, she knew Alex had been stealing. And so she took it down to Miss Jeannie Seckinger because talk about being between a rock and a hard place. The most powerful man in the county and Jeannie Seckinger. Listen, I want Jeannie on my side. Yeah, okay, Alex and them might have had power for 100 years or whatever, but Jeannie Seckinger was having none of his mess. We have discussed her previously. So Jeannie was like, Annette was like, here's the check, Miss Jeannie. And so she handed in the check. When she handed in that check, she knew that Alex had been stealing. She knew the jig was up and she knew she was telling on him. And she was scared. She was scared of retaliation. She was scared of what was going to happen next. She was scared of finding out that her boss was a thief. And even her kids, her friends, family, everybody was like, girl, get your resume together because you just handed in the most powerful man in town. And so what they're going to do, take you out, child? I do not know. But Miss Annette was scared. Well, wouldn't you know, Miss Jeannie Seckinger, she's a stand-up gal. She does human resources. She's the CFO. She's basically every woman. And she had Annette's back. She was like, Annette, baby, don't you worry about this. Mama's going to take care of it. I mean, she probably didn't say it like that, but she was coming with that energy. And so she had Miss Annette's back, and Annette still has her job today. Now, I don't know who she works for. I hope whoever she worked for is not like a lying, thieving scumbag. But she still has a job at the firm. And good for her and good for the moral people of that firm for standing up for her. Other things that I noticed today. Okay, first of all, I'm trying to figure out why the state brought this murder case at all. And this is what I mean by that. On the financial crimes alone, Alex is subject to life in prison. Life. The rest of his life. And I've heard it speculated that he's probably going to plead to after the murder case is over, he's probably just going to plead to the financial crimes. Because for the financial crimes, a lot of it he's already confessed. The mountain of evidence is overwhelming. So in a way, it kind of doesn't matter what happens at the murder case. Of course, it actually happens, like justice for Paul and Maggie, but if he's convicted here or if he's not convicted here, he's still looking at life in prison for the financial crimes. And I get the feeling that the evidence on the financial crimes is much stronger than the evidence on the murders. I think he did the murders. I think he did all of it. But he's going down regardless. something else that I thought of this morning. So I'm driving to work this morning because I had needs. I had to get all cute. You see me? I even did a red lip. And one of my work children gave me these earrings. So cute. She's a doll. Oh, I hope you're watching this. Hey, Celeste girl, how you doing? So this is what I'm thinking. Did Alex kill his daddy? Follow me with this. I think Alex might have killed his daddy. Now, Mr. Randolph was already sick. Mr. Randolph was already like terminal or whatever. On the last day of Mr. Randolph's life, he was called into a meeting from his deathbed to talk about the fact that Alex had been caught stealing, right? They had the goods. They had suspected or whatever. They had the goods. They had the paperwork. They knew something was going on. The last day of his life, Mr. Randolph attended a meeting about the deaths of, obviously they were still dealing with the deaths of Paul and Maggie. It had only happened 3 days before, but on the last day of his life, they had a meeting with him where they suspected that Alec might be stealing. He attended the meeting from hospice and died a few hours later. I'm not saying Alec put a pillow over his daddy's face. Let's be clear. What I am saying though is that his actions might have contributed to the death of his father. Also old age, high blood pressure, gout, bunions. Child, I do not know what he had. But Alex might have killed his daddy. Allegedly? The man is already dead. He killed his wife and son. How can we be mad and say he killed his daddy? I think he killed his daddy. But you ain't heard that from me. Also, when Annette Griswold was on the stand describing Alec, and she was like, ugh, he was a mess. He was always losing things. He was running here and there. He was a whirling dervish. Who else does that sound like to you? That sounds like Paul. I wonder if Miss Libby and Mr. Randolph had a problem child and they were like, ugh, this one. This one meaning Alec. I think that Alec probably understood Paul because he was like, yeah, I used to be like that. His secretaries were like, no, don't give him a check. He's going to lose a check. Don't give him the paper. We going to take care of everything to make sure his life is good because he's just going to lose everything and mess everything up. Turns out Alec was a secret genius, a criminal genius, but a genius nevertheless. Also, the other day when Miss Jeannie Seckinger was on the stand and she was talking about Alex, now other people who came after her said, oh, he had a very sharp legal mind and blah, blah, blah. You know what Miss Jeannie Seckinger said as she was reading Alex for filth for 3 solid hours? She said, well, he wasn't that bright, but he had the gift of gab. Oh, shots fired. Okay, Miss Jeannie, tell us what you really think. Listen, Jeannie is all out of F's to give. She out. Plumb out. Not one left. She's like, listen, here are all the things I ever thought about you. One time, a long time ago, I used to work with this girl named Sheila. Hey, Sheila. She not watching this. I was Sheila's boss, right? Sheila was very difficult to supervise because Sheila did what Sheila wanted to do. On the last day of work, she had resigned and she was going off to a nice new job. Good for you, Miss Sheila. And so she went up to people and she gave them a big hug and she was like, okay, this is my last day. I never liked you. One by one, she went around to each employee and was like, big tight hug, and would whisper in their ear exactly what she felt about them. I always thought you were incompetent. I never could stand you. I know you jealous of my man. Sheila was ghetto AF. Sheila had thoughts and Sheila expressed them on her last day. It was hilarious. Also, Sheila was this close to being fired when she quit, so I was glad she got a new job. Cut to 3 months later, she calling me up. Hey, girl, my new job didn't work out. Can I come back? No, Sheila, because you went around and told everybody what you thought. So you're going to have some common decency and talk about people behind their back. That's just called manners. Well, Miss Jeannie, all out of F's to give, talked about Alex in front of God and all the world up there on the stand. She told us her things. all the things about Alex. Finally, because I was in meetings today, you probably thought I didn't know, but I know what happened. There was a bomb scare today in court. Yes, there was. People was up on the stand, chit-chatting, giving their evidence, talking about whatever. And all of a sudden the judge was like, wait, what? What? We're going to have to take a lunch break right now. Bomb threat. A big old bomb threat at the courthouse. That's not what you want to have happen. I don't know if that's related to Alec. Apparently, that happened at a couple of the schools around South Carolina lately. And somebody speculated that because the trial is being live streamed on TV, sometimes people will phone in a bomb threat just so they can see all the shenanigans and the running around and the who and what. That is ridiculous. That is childish. Will it affect the jury's mentality and how they see this case and how they understand the case? We do not know. Finally, last but certainly not least, Mr. Gunn from Forge and his beautiful voice. Listen, I have a happy marriage. I have a lovely life. Mr. Gunn, and for real, the only reason I would throw all of that away is for an 80-year-old billionaire with heart trouble and no other living relatives. I could be his new wife. And 2, somebody with a voice like Mr. Gunn. Mr. Gunn, you know Mr. Gunn gives good phone. He calls you on the phone and your whole basement is flooded. You're like, oh, Mr. Gunn, how you doing, Mr. Gunn? If you don't watch anything else today, go back and watch Mr. Gunn from Forge. Watch his testimony. Don't watch it. Listen to his testimony. Ooh, the silky voice, the dulcet tones of a Mr. Gunn. Mr. Gunn, Mr. Gunn, Mr. Gunn. Okay, I suddenly want to buy an annuity. Mr. Gunn sells annuities, and I think I'm going to need to get me some of them. I'm not entirely certain what an annuity does, but I'm going to let Mr. Gunn explain it to me. Is my husband here? My husband can't watch this video because he gonna be mad. Oh, Lord, I have talked for 12 minutes. That is a very long time. Okay, I need to go cook some dinner. Y'all have a great night. I'm gonna do some trial rewatch, and if I have other thoughts after I have washed my face and started my nighttime beauty routine, I will check in and let you know. But I think I covered it all. Tomorrow, more trial. See you then. Bye.